Hey guys, welcome back to another Warhammer action figure review. Up for review is yet another McFarlane Darktide action figure with the Variant Traitor Guard. On the back of the package we have the Variant Traitor Guard striking a pose with a few logos and titles. And on the side of the box we have a close-up of the figure with the Darktide logo and name of the figure. McFarlane figures are easy to remove from the package, easily sliding out without having to tear the box open. But in order to get the standout, it will need to be ripped out of the cardboard sleeve. Traitor Guards are what their name implies, guardsmen who have been corrupted by the Darktide and turned on their own fellow humans. Sent away to fight wars in the Fringe Worlds, the Mobian 6th Regiment have been fighting against chaos and xeno threats called the Darktide, holding them back from invading the Imperium of Man's domains. The 6th Regiment had been pushed too far, and spent too much time exposed to the corruption of the galaxy and the warp, resulting in the entire unit's corruption. When they were recalled back to Otoma Prime to assist in the zombie plague and Nurgle corruption, they instead turned on their own people and supported the uprising instead. This figure was an exclusive to GameStop in the US, but for some reason I or anyone I know were never able to actually order this variant from them. After a few months past the release, this figure is now available from the official online McFarlane store. Let's check out the details. Exclusive to the variant, we have the fully helmeted version with 3 green lenses for the eyes and a rebreather at the mouth. The black helmet is covered in small gray spikes dotted all over the helmet. At the very top of the head, we have a plume of black hair. Turning down the lights, we can see that the green paint used for the lenses and rebreather are reactive to UV light, glowing in the dark. On the side of the helmet, we can get a better look at the hair, sculpted flowing down in a wavy pattern, with large strands of hair breaking off into sections. More tiny spikes are spread all over the helmet, and we can see the corroded effect texture on the metal. On top of the black armor, we have brown leather straps with a few pouches attached to it. Underneath, we have a white star of chaos painted onto the chest, with more scratches and dents in the armor. The leather straps wrap all the way around to the back, with more plates of armor covering the body here, with small bolt details on the plates. The right shoulder has a small plate of black armor, with large gray spikes coming out of the metal. Underneath we have a baggy gray cloth shirt sculpted with a thick fabric texture. Onto the left shoulder we have fewer but much larger spikes, as well as chains hanging down underneath. The wrists and forearms are protected by a large bracer, with more small spikes on top and 2 belt straps underneath attaching the armor to the forearms. The hands are covered in black gloves in a trigger finger pose. On the waist we can see a brown leather belt wrapping tightly around the body, with the coat underneath sculpted with the effect of being tightly gripped. This belt has a leather texture effect to it, as well as gray straps, buckles, and belt loops. On the side of the waist, a brown World War II style stick grenade is attached to the belt, as well as a small brown leather pouch. 2 large pouches are strapped onto the back of the belt, and another pair of stick grenades all painted in the same brown color. We can also get a better look at the texture of the undercoat, a thick fabric effect with waves in the sculpting. Black wrinkled pants cover the legs, with large cargo pockets strapped into the legs by a small black belts. The knees are protected by large metal plates strapped into the baggy pants. The black pants tuck into the plates of armor covering the legs. Small straps can be seen here fastening the armor to the legs. We finish up the details of the figure with the boots. We have a pair of black standard military style boots with details like the laces, different sections of layers, and even the rubber pattern under the boots. Let's take a look at the articulation. We have a ball joint at the head that allows some decent range in motion. Shoulders that open, with this section of armor is attached to the bicep made of a soft plastic. You can still fully open the shoulders, but it will get in the way a small bit. Rotating biceps that will start to get blocked by that armor. Double jointed elbows with a tight bend. Wrists that rotate and bend up and down. A ball joint at the chest. And another at the waist. Both of these combined give a decent range of forward and back bending. The leg articulation is completely blocked by the coat. You can open and push forward and back the joints here, but the coat section is so tight it's going to virtually block all of the range. We also have minimal to no thigh rotation here. Double jointed knees, ankles that rotate, bend up and down, and the toe that bends up. The Variant Traitor Guard uses the same body as the standard version, so the heights are the same as the guardsmen as well. He's just a bit shorter than the Chaos Marines, especially when standing straight up. The Ogryn Mega figure towers over the guardsmen. And paired next to some 6-inch figures from Hasbro, we can see the McFarlane scale in effect. We get a brown makeshift weapon with scratches, dents, and sharp hooked edges. A small brown and gray las pistol. And the McFarlane stand with the Warhammer logo on it. This figure is what I would consider the ideal Traitor Guards version, as most of the in-game gunners you will fight in Darktide use this model, the Scab Gunner and Shooter, using this style of helmet. While this variant is the same as the original, I do like that McFarlane has included different weapons to give us a little bit more value than just an alternate exclusive head. Personally, I'm fine with variants like this version. The Warhammer series is perfect for army building, and painted variants like this just add more variety to the collection. I hope that if we get a Series 2 of Darktide, we'll get even more variants of the Scab enemies, as most of them share the same base armor with different loadouts. The details once again are really good on these figures. At the price, they are packed with the usual McFarlane style of detailed textures and effects all over the sculpting. The glowing green reactive paint that McFarlane uses is a nice touch, details like this that I wish would be used more often as they really make the figure feel more unique. Again, with all McFarlane figures, a wash of paint to make the details stand out would have taken this figure a long way into improving the looks, especially the dirty and grimy look of the Traitor Guards. The articulation on the upper body is great for poses with guns, but the legs are completely restricted by the coat, something that I think a small cut could fix, but McFarlane decided to go over sculpt over articulation. It's not the biggest deal, but losing half of the figure's range just for a small coat section doesn't seem worth the trade. Warhammer Darktide has a ton of enemies with different variant styles and weapons, so I'm totally ready for more variants from McFarlane Toys. This figure has sort of been hard to get in the US, since GameStop somehow was unable to fulfill pre-orders or have any of these in stock. It was only until a few months after it was supposed to release that McFarlane finally put it up on the official store, so a lot of people that are waiting on this version can finally get it. Overall, it's a great option for those army building the Traitor Legion. It comes with different weapons, and at a price point that makes buying multiple for customizing not that bad. It's more of the same, but with a few added bonuses that make it just worth picking up another Traitor Guard. Alright guys, that's it for this review. Leave a comment letting me know how you like this figure, subscribe, or share this video with your friends to help out the channel.